do you remember Tauranga? I remember Tauranga. I went there once, and it's a lovely place, and it's always been in the news. Essentially, I suspect, because it was called initially, I think, God's Waiting Room. And plenty of people from all over the upper half of the North Island would retire to Tauranga. But then it grew like topsy so much that infrastructural issues became preeminent, I guess, in terms of dealing with it. Councils came and went. And in late 2020, Mayor Tenby Powell, who'd been elected in the 2019 election, resigned. And the government of the day got involved, sacked the Tauranga District Council and appointed commissioners. This is in 2021. So in February 2021, Anne Tolley, Shadrach Wollaston, that's an unusual name, isn't it? Shadrach. Shadrach. Stephen Selwood and Bill Wesley were appointed as commissioners to the Tauranga City Council by Nanaia Mahuta, the former Minister of Local Government under the previous government. Now, okay, they're paid $1,500 a day, these commissioners. The remuneration is set by the Minister of Local Government. The chairman, I think, is Anne Tolley, a former National Cabinet Minister, not a very good one, education. When I say the decline of the education department, start with Anne Tolley. She is paid $1,800 a day. And there was this thought that at the next election, so when's the next thing? Oh, it's next year. The next local government elections in 2025, there would be a return to full democracy, which was promised, I might add, by the ACT Party, leading up to the election of last year. But, and well, this is probably the time, but to introduce our next guest, a former mayor. He was a mayor, had one term as mayor, I think Tenby Powell, unless he resigned. I will find out in a second. Tenby Powell must have beaten him in 2019. But the former mayor before Tenby Powell, Greg Brownless, has been very vocal on this issue, and he joins us now. Greg, were you on the council before you got elected mayor in 2016?
Not for 6 years. I had been a councillor for 15 years, and then I had a voluntary break for 6 years, and then when I decided it was time, I came back and tried for the mayoralty, which I succeeded at, and then I was defeated by Mayor Powell in 2019. And
now,
so I can say that I've won elections and I've lost them, and all have been fair and square. So
okay, that's good. That's nice. You obviously haven't been in the United States lately. All right, now, Greg, just on that though, and then it got fractious. As I said, obviously to the point where the council got sacked, the mayor resigns and stuff like that. Just dispassionately, try and be dispassionate. Why did it get so fractious that the government had to intervene?
It did seem from the outside in particular, and I'm obviously looking from the outside, that there was constant infighting, and that if people didn't get their way, they sort of spat the dummy. Whereas, if you're a mayor or a councillor or whatever, you're still subject to a majority vote. And if you win some and you lose some, and it appeared in this particular case that there was a lot of personal invective going on at the same time. So people couldn't agree.
It was dysfunctional then, Greg.
I think it was pretty obviously dysfunctional, but whether you needed to replace it completely or if you could have just appointed a Crown manager to assist, I reckon that's probably open to debate. I always try and look on the positive side of things. Perhaps if given some time, they could have sorted the issues out, but that wasn't to be, so no use looking back over that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the commissioners have been controversial in their own way because they and the senior staff at the Tauranga City Council have made a lot of impactful decisions, some of which have been popular and a good number of which, well, if I rely upon media reports, and here we are relying on media reports, have not. Nevertheless, whatever decisions they've made, and they were meant to sort of shuffle off stage left, weren't they? And then democracy was meant to be restored to one of the largest cities. What's been the developments since then?
Okay, so in 2022 in October, that was meant to be when they left, and we had elections along with the rest of the country. Now, that didn't happen. A while before that, the Commission went back to government and said, we don't think Tauranga is ready yet. And they went armed with the signatures of one iwi trust and 2 development groups and 15 people who signed in a letter. Those names are apparently protected. They're anonymous. And on that basis, they, in my view, went behind the backs of the people of Tauranga, and the commission was reappointed until, this year. In fact, that the Minister McNulty, the Labour Minister, decided that we'd have an election this year. So we are, in fact, going to have an election out of sequence in July of 2024. Yeah.
How bloody ridiculous.
Well, many would say that it's at least we're getting democracy back, but that's what happened. We should have had an election in June 2022, but as I say, in my view, behind the back of the people of Tauranga, it was decided to extend the term. In fact, so interesting was it that when I heard wind of this and went down for Minister Mahuta to make the announcement at the council, I, as a former mayor, was refused entry to hear that announcement.
Okay.
Pretty bad.
All right. So who made that decision? Was it the Tauranga staff, or was it?
Minister Mahuta made the decision to extend it, but on the recommendation of the commission. So
No. Who made the decision to exclude you from the meeting?
Well, when I went there, the security guard said, "No, you're not on the list." And I said, "Well, I have an interest in this." And they said, "I'm sorry, you can't come in."
It was invitation only. Okay, all right.
Yes, and one of the commissioners, to be fair, was very nice to me about it, because they could tell that it was a little bit upsetting to see democracy once again, denied the people of Tauranga.
Tauranga, how many people live in Tauranga these days? What's your district?
About 150,000 for the city. It's quite big. Yeah.
Yes, it is. So you'd be about the 4th or the 5th largest. You'd be just after Hamilton, would you, in terms of...
Yeah, we're the 5th largest, apparently.
The 5th largest city in New Zealand. Okay, so you're a big city. All right. And you are, as I said, a desirable location. People have gone to live in Tauranga because you are desirable. It's led to that exponential growth from about the 1980s onward. Yeah. Okay, cool. However, the commissioners are now saying, as I understand it, that when this election is going to be held in, I didn't realise, July of this year.
Yes, this year. Yeah.
They actually only want to have a certain number of people elected, and they want to stay on. Is that right?
Yes, that was they wrote a letter to the Minister of Local Government on the 19th of December saying that their desire was for a hybrid model. There would be 4 commissioners appointed, and one of those commissioners would take the place of a mayor. Then we would have 5 ward councillors, 4 from general wards and 1 from a Maori ward. So that would be the makeup of the council as they desired it. They also had an option for that then in 2025, which is in terms of the normal elections, we would have 1 more elected member, an elected mayor, but still the 4 commissioners who would stay on to 2028. So that was their desired result. Fortunately, the minister has not agreed to that.
But are you saying that Simeon Brown, the Minister of Local Government's now seriously considering their interim council request?
No. Apparently he has, the reports are that he's rejected their request. Okay.
You know that for real?
Yes. The local MP has posted on his Facebook page that Minister Brown has rejected that request, and even the request for an observer, because this was once again, and this is my issue, it was all done behind the backs of the Tauranga people. We only know about it because of some people making a request to the Minister's office under the Official Information Act. Yeah. That was initially turned down, and then it was revised when the Ombudsman intervened. So that's the only reason we know. And on the day that it was the Ombudsman's, the Minister released that letter, the Commission coincidentally wrote to them, Simeon, recommending, a Crown observer. So, this has been fraught with all sorts of things going on in the background, and I think that doesn't help for democracy.